Today we are going to be cooking breakfast tacos. So first things first, we want to cook up some potatoes. So we're going to add a little bit of cooking oil into this pan. And this is going to be for frying up the potatoes. Romero in the chat. What's up, Romero? Gonna be making some steak breakfast tacos. Alright, so first things first, we wash our potatoes, so now we gotta cut them. We're only using 3 little red potatoes because I only have 3 eggs. So I don't have a lot of eggs. I also don't have a lot of steak. So I'm gonna have enough to make about 6 tacos. Now we want good sized little cubes. So we're gonna cut them in half. Cut them in half again. I'm gonna cut those halves into 4s. And then we cut those. Four times. Alright. Now we're going to take any of the little big pieces. We're just going to cut those in half because we want little squares. We want little squares. Alright, I am going to grab myself a bowl for these cubes. Probably could have cut them an additional 3 instead of in half. And I wouldn't have to do this, but I wasn't thinking about how long they might be. I thought they were gonna be a little smaller. Like I said, I want little cubes. Little pieces of potato. Oh wow, look at that. 19. Hello everybody. I don't think I'm gonna need 3 potatoes. I am gonna need to cut off any black pieces. Always cut off. You know, you don't want that in your food. Let me check these potatoes real quick. Yep. There's another brown spot. We don't want those. They don't taste good. They don't cook right. Oh, yep, see, I'm glad I'm checking these now. Because I was about to cook some... I mean, as you see, all of these pieces are brown. That's not good. You don't want that. Oh, the little pieces. The reason we're making these small is because we want crispy fried potatoes in these breakfast tacos. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to fry up the potatoes. While the potatoes start to fry, we're going to cut up the steak. So So this is one potato. I'm going to go ahead and do one small potato. This time I'm going to cut it into thirds instead of halves. I'm going to cut it long ways once, giving us a bunch of smaller pieces. Now we should have enough potato here with this too. I think this will be good enough for the tacos. Yeah, 3 potatoes is too much. Then it'll just be more potato than anything else. So we're just going to go with 2. Grabbing all these little pieces, I don't need to cut more. Alright, just need to cut this. Cut. Alright, that's good. Now we're going to take this potato, add it to our oil, which we have on high. Sharpen your knives, bro. What are you talking about? My knife is plenty sharp. I do not need to sharpen that knife. Trust me, if I make it any sharper, it could cut a finger off. I don't think you understand how sharp that knife is. We're now going to put the... Trust me, my other knives need sharpened though. That one's... So we're going to submerge these in oil. And we're going to turn this oil up to about an 8. And we're going to fry these potatoes. While these potatoes start to fry, we're going to cut up our steak right now. We've got some leftover ribeye right here. And I'm also going to cut up an onion. Alright. Let's go ahead and cut these steaks up. These were the steaks that cooked in the dark at night, so they should be pink in the center, and they're not because I actually made them well done, but that's okay. That's steak fat, that'll render, but I will cut that up and put that in there. People say, why do you cut so slow in your videos? I say, I'm trying to add length. I can cut quick. Like, it's not hard. When you work restaurants as long as me, you know how to do it fast. But I don't do it fast in the videos because I like to make my videos lengthy. Maybe once the food channel's monetized, I'll speed up the process of everything I do. But until then, I'm gonna do everything nice and slow. might actually be able to make enough out of this for breakfast burritos. We'll see. I'll tell you how tender this steak is. This knife just goes right through it. I'm not having to push hard at all. That's why it makes so much noise when I'm cutting down, because I'm pushing too much pressure. I don't need to push this hard. I mean, I can just let the weight of the knife cut it. Alright. Alright, that's our bowl of steak, which is more steak than I expected. I didn't expect a whole bowl. I need to stir the onions, potatoes. Alright. And now I'm going to do an onion. Now I save all my onion peels, because if you put these in a container where they can sit and dry, and you can collect them, after about a dozen onions or so, though the more onions you have the better, you can actually take them and put them in a food processor and pulverize them after you bake them in the oven or dehydrate them a little bit. There's a few processes to them, but essentially you want to get them dry as powder, and then you put it in a food processor and blend it, and you have homemade onion powder, and it's natural and it tastes better than store-bought. Oh, that peel is not wanting to come off. Sometimes it wants to be stuck on like a mother trucker. I'll go ahead and rinse off my cutting board. Alright, so then we're going to take each half onion. We're going to cut that up. Mince this just a little bit. I don't need it too small. We want chunks. We just don't want huge chunks. So when I gotta reheat the steak in the skillet, before I crack the eggs and add the potatoes back in, I'll also be throwing these onions in with the steak. I think those chunks are about small enough. Like I said, we want good sized chunks, so I'm not trying to cut them too much. I'm not trying to dice them. I'm not trying to mince them. If I make them too small, they're just gonna get lost in the dish. Especially when you get involved with eggs. Yeah, I think that's good. Alright. Go ahead and stir these potatoes. Alright, so that's everything I gotta do for now. We're gonna wash the potatoes. Let's look at Ooh, lots and freeze dry. Hold on a second. I gotta read that after I wash my hands. Okay. Let's look at what chat has said. Hold on, what the heck? Cut myself. Dude, I haven't cut myself in a really long time in the kitchen. Is the steak frozen? No. No, I cooked it, like, I don't know, whenever I cooked that, oh yeah, I guess I did freeze it. And then I unthawed it. I've been freezing everything I cook so it holds longer. I like the bamboo cutting boards. Yeah, I have a bamboo cutting board, a wooden cutting board, and a ceramic cutting board. But I use my little cutting board when it comes to a lot of things because it's easier to wash. My two other cutting boards are so big, it's kind of a pain to wash. Trying to add link. Wow. Why would you even say some stuff like that, Liz? Yeah, freeze jar, you can make all kinds of seasonings and whatnot, fruit toppings. There's a lot you can do with them. They do some cool stuff with candy, too. I really want to get one for my food channel. Yeah, accidents happen, but man, I honestly don't know the last time I cut myself in the kitchen. It's, I'll put it this way. Blackout drunk cooking on Thanksgiving and Christmas, I did not cut myself. Think about that. Blackout drunk while cooking on live, and I did not cut myself. Think about that, guys. Think about it. I don't even remember the ending of the night. I was still able to eat a meal. I never cut myself. I removed part of my finger while cutting a mango last summer. Yeah, well, clearly you have skill issues. I don't suffer from those skill issues. I can't tell you how many hours with a knife I have. Like, when I worked Hometown Buffet, I was prep cook, and I would spend 5 or 6 hours a day with a knife cutting the entire time. I have more time with a knife and cutting board than you probably have behind a wheel driving. So well, I'll give you that one. That's a fair reason. These potatoes are almost done. I'll go ahead and show them to you now. Ooh. What's with the rotation? Why is it so sticky? Oh, there we go. Look at those nice golden brown potatoes. They're going to cook for just another minute or two. Why are we talking about Rex? Stop. Cut of Rex turtle. Oh, yeah, dude. He loved mangoes. I miss having a pet turtle. Man, I know I got some lizards and I like them, but I mean, they're not my favorite animal. I really been wanting to get myself a pet turtle. Every time I go to the pet store to get supplies for my bearded dragon and my geckos, I look at the damn turtles thinking, I want one of you. I really want a box turtle. That's what I grew up having. They don't get too big, and they're the ones I was raised with, the ones I had as a kid. I wouldn't mind a painted turtle. I had a couple of those. That's also what the Ninja Turtles were. Some say they were painted turtles. Some say they were box turtles. Um, some say they were red-eared sliders. But it was between those three species, depending on the origin. I want to say they were painted turtles because they were in a glass bowl with water. But they could have also been red-eared sliders, which are pretty similar to painted turtles. But they didn't have a lot of color, and they were pretty green, so I'm going to guess painted turtles. A redfoot tortoise would be similar to Rex, but a little better, bigger, and not endangered. Yeah, I've been looking at the red-footed tortoise, or the red-footed turtle. They live in a woodsy environment. I looked at the Russian tortoise. I really like the sulcatas. Those are my favorite turtle species that you can have. I mean, pretty much my favorite turtle species, period, other than the Galapagos tortoise. But they get so big. I so want one, though. I'm going to get something to pour this oil into. So these are red potatoes, not your typical. Oh shit! That's not pouring like I wanted it to. Hold on. Okay, we got ourselves a nice bowl now. Let's go ahead and start scooping these potatoes out. See, I still have kitchen accidents. I just don't cut myself. I mean, as a hobby as a kid, I whittled too. So, like I said, I probably have more time with a knife in my hand than most people have driving their entire lives. Alright. Now we can collect the oil safely and not stupidly like I was just doing. Alright, since I spilled a little oil on the bottom of the pan, I want to get a nice paper towel and alright, we're gonna put that down. Now that we've pulled the potatoes out, we're going to add the onion. Now we're going to let the onion cook. We're going to hit this onion with a little bit of water to speed up the process, and also because these are our fried potatoes. Oh yeah. Look at those. Alright, we're going to add the steak in here now. This is going to moisten the steak up. I gotta stop snacking on my fried potato cubes. do slash cooking breakfast tacos with steak. What about you?
Oh my god. Interesting couple days.
Sounds fun.
Went to the coast and got absolutely no sleep because of my kids' sleep schedule, and time I chose to spend to be around them. I had absolutely no sleep when I got home, so I spent the last couple of days trying to catch up on sleep. That's been fun.
Sounds fun. Alright, those onions are starting to become translucent. That's the goal. Once the onions start to become translucent, you're nearly done. We're going to crank this up to a high for about 3 minutes. And then we're going to drain the juices and then crack in our eggs. Oh yes. Now all the flavor from this onion is going to boil into this steak, so this steak is going to get really juicy like it was when I pulled it off the grill. And it's going to essentially revitalize the steak's integrity. I'm trying to cook off as much of this water as possible. So I can do this one of two ways. I can cook the eggs and then put this on top of the eggs, or I can cook this with the eggs. So there's two ways I can do this. I can either throw this all into a pot and add eggs, or I can layer it. Essentially, then it'd be a scramble, but put onto our taco. We actually managed to cook off all the water. Now we're going to go ahead and scoop that. I'm going to turn this down to medium. And we're going to scoop this gently into our bowl. As you see, the onions have completely caramelized, and they're like a translucent clear like, which is the consistency I said I wanted them to be. Okay, come on, the rest of onions. Alright, so now we want to heat this up and add a little bit of butter. Actually, I'm not going to add any butter, I'm just going to add a little bit of cooking oil. Alright, I only have 5 eggs left, so that's the only eggs all the eggs I'm going to use. season these up. We need pepper, Lars seasoning salt, normally I put onion powder, but with the amount of onion I have here, I don't need the onion powder. But I am going to use garlic powder, Italian herbs, go ahead and crank that up. Yeah, I got more potatoes and steak and onion than I got egg. Alright, got my 6 soft taco shells. Oh, yep, eggs are getting nice and fried. Oh yeah, that's what I want. A nice crispy egg. Now if you're wondering why it looked like I had 2 different kinds of eggs and they were 2 different colors, it's because the organic was the 2 orangey ones and the non-organic was the yellowish ones. Organic chickens have a different color. That's because of the food the chickens eat. Alright. Alright, now we're going to add these into their own bowl. And I'm going to wash this off real quick. We're going to deglaze the pan by adding a little bit of water in there. Turn it up to high. And we're going to let that sit for like about a minute as we scrape the sides with the plastic spoon, because if you do this with metal, you know you ruin your pan. essentially gonna let this hot water boil all the crap right off the skillet. And then we don't have to scrub the crap out of it. Yeah, that's good enough. Alright, so now that we have our everything, we're going to go ahead and assemble everything. I'm contemplating frying these. Yeah, I'm actually going to do this. Just a little bit of oil. I'm going to turn this pan up to an 8 real quick and get it nice and hot. What we're going to do is we're going to flip these in it. Just turn that to a high for a second. Potatoes, steak and onion, eggs. Alright. We're going to crank that down to a 6.5. Now these aren't going to take very long to start frying out. Now once we flip them, we're going to start adding stuff. Almost. Stitch Lover, what's up? What brand of tortilla? Oh, I use these zero carb mission tortillas. They're keto certified taco shells. They come 14 in a bag for $3.99. So $2 for 7 taco shells. So they're like 20. They're about 28 cents to 30 cents a piece. So we'll say that 6 of them is almost half a bag. So this was like, I guess, well, this one's the Chipotle version of the same thing, but I only had one Chipotle left. So I guess technically it would be like, for 6 taco shells, about $2.80. No, about $1. Yeah, between $1.70 and $1.80, something like that. Because 7 is $2, so. Alright, they should be nice and crispy at this point. Yes, that's exactly what we want. Alright, and now we're gonna hit them. We're gonna hit them with the cheese first, so the cheese can melt. Oh, that's too much cheese on that one. Alright. Sprinkle on some potato. Alright, we're going to sprinkle on a little bit of steak and egg and onion. Let's do the egg first. These would be some pretty loaded tacos. Alright, I'm going to get a skillet, a spatula, and pull these off and start the next batch. And these, oh yeah. Oopsie daisy. So let's go ahead and. So since it wants to be a pain, let's help it. Alright, there we go, 1 taco. 2 taco. 3 taco. And just 'cause I want a little more cheese, I'm gonna hit the top of them with a little more cheese. Now I'm out to switch cheeses up. I'm gonna use some sliced cheese for these next three. But I need to add a little bit of oil. Need to turn it down. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. All right. That was a little too much oil. Alright, there we go. I had to get a little bit of that oil off. Alright, those are almost ready. Let's get the sliced cheese out. I'm going to use a Colby Jack for one of them. Cheddar cheese for the other one. Provolone for the third one. Now let's go ahead and flip these. Perfect. 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 Okay. Now let's add on our sliced cheese. Oh, I should actually add this to the smallest one. We're going to turn this down to a 4 so they don't cook as quickly. Alright. We're left with some leftover potato, which I'm just going to eat because I salted them. let's scoop these off. Alright. Now, since those sliced cheeses were significantly more than the shredded cheese, I don't need to add more cheese to those. I'm just going to use the rest of this shredded cheese since it's almost gone. Just cleaning up the mess while I heat my tacos up to melt all the additional cheese. And I'm gonna add some of this salsa to it. All right. My 6 breakfast tacos. Make sure that you've liked and subscribed. Make sure you come back for more. Now I'm gonna go do a review video. Should I do a review? Yeah, I'm gonna do a separate review video of these tacos. Let's see what people said. Hi, Romero. Pretty sure Joe has. It's not a game jam. Here, you subscribe there. Stitch Lover, dude, it's Liz, is my older sister. Her name is Elizabeth, but she goes by Liz because she doesn't like her name. Alright, since everybody left, I'm going to go ahead and make this review video separate. I'll be back in a few moments to review 6 tacos. And we'll see if I can eat them all. And I'll tell you how good they are. If you haven't liked, make sure you've liked. If you have subscribed, do that. Make sure you go to my game channel. I'm Turtle Ninja. Go to my homepage on this channel right here, right now. Go all the way down to the recommended list. You'll see my other channel. Subscribe to my game channel if you want to play video games with me. Fortnite, Call of Duty, Apex, World of Warcraft, League of Legends, Hearthstone. I can name a dozen more. But we'll see you there. Till next time, Crazy Cow out.